One of those locations that looks great on a map, and then you get to it and you're like, it's actually, Dan's words were, from above on the drone it looks like a toilet, but not in a good way. Whatever that means. Anyway, what's happening today? I'm going to shoot some stuff on this camera, and this is an A-100 35mm film Ricoh camera. I've shot photographs for a long time and started on film because there was no option, not because it was cool, not because it was trendy, because that's what there was. And this camera belonged to my dad. So when I was a kid and you went out on family holidays and watched motocross and things like that, my dad would have had this camera with him. Smile lads, click. And I always remember my dad being like, just take one more just for safety. When the digital, my button's duct taped down all the time, so it's just always shooting photos. So, we're shooting on Kodak Gold 200. I guess the reason I wanted to do this, I've spent so long shooting digital stuff. I found myself relying a lot on the viewfinder. Like I literally live view things and I make adjustments and tweaks, and I found myself getting very lazy. How do you open this? I haven't used this camera in like 20 years. There you go, all mechanical inside. Photography for me has always been about having a tangible image, a physical photo to hold at the end, and I really miss that about taking photos. I used to follow my friends around for years shooting, not in a weird way, they knew I was there. We rode BMX bikes and I shot photos, and I used to shoot all on film. It was always, you know, just 200s or 424 exposures. And I would shoot all the BMX photos on film, get them developed, and then we'd have our prints. I also used to shoot a lot of Ilford black and white and develop that in a darkroom myself, and that's something I'm really interested in, and I'd like to get to the point where I can build a darkroom in a studio. If you've never shot film before, right, I'm relearning this as we go. The film goes in the camera, pull the little yoke, and from what I can remember, it goes into this little slot, like that, and then you just crank that. Is that right? I slipped out, Dan. Close the doors of it. I think that's correct. It's a 55mm lens, 35mm film. Everything's manual on it, which is kind of cool. What coast would you say this is? Antrim, on the bottom of the Antrim coast? Oh, fuck it, we'll just do that while we walk. Right. We're in a place called Whitehead, which is just outside Larne, which is like Belfast Lough at the bottom as you join the Antrim Road heading up to the north coast of Northern Ireland. This is an old swimming pool. It did tease us like it was gonna look better, but unfortunately it's not that cool. Oh my gosh. That was a sketchy jump. I just hop off that. The funny thing with the film, yeah, stay there a second. Like, you know when you're shooting ISO, you have to actually set the ISO to match the film speed. So you put, like, I put a 200 film in here, so you have to actually change that. Oh, there, I'm turning the exposure dial. There's an exposure dial there, then you pull this little ring up and you move that, so it's 200 film. So you have to match it so it knows how sensitive the film is to light. 250th of that. Get that quite right. There you go. That's a photo. That's been taken. That's what it looks like. We're heading along the coast to a place called Black Rock Lighthouse. It's just a place we've wanted to go for ages. It's nowhere near where we live, so this would be a good opportunity to play with the film camera.
You can see my house.
Can you?
No, thank
you. How big that guy's lens was. This is the walk here, and we're going out to that. So it's a bit darker here. This is where it gets a bit tricky, I have to admit. Fuck, I didn't adjust my F on that first shot, so that's probably fucked it.
F what?
Don't tell me. Don't tell me. I'm going F8 1/25 of a second. ISO 200. He knows. See, Dan can check. I do have my other camera in my bag, and I could take it out and use it effectively as a light meter, but that would be cheating. And the test of this is to see if I can remember how to take photographs without using a live viewfinder.
Forget the camera, you're actually using the vlog this way.
Oh yeah.
As well.
Oh yeah, fuck's sake. Onward and overward, upward. The thing I guess that worries me a bit about the shooting film thing, which I'm trying to not do. Well, first of all, I just want to see if I can take a photograph that's not totally shit. But then there's that thing where like...
Coming off auto. It's the first time in your life.
Yeah, ever. I thought that was a bat, it's just a stick. There's this idea, I guess, that just because it's... Here, hold that. Rail. Lines and all. What am I doing here? I actually, like, scaredy don't. Really know what I'm up to here. You know, obviously the destination. Oh, it feels so permanent. I want to review it. Nice rock, says old man Dan. That's a nice rock there, mate. There's this idea that if you shoot film, you can just take a shit photo. The photo can be shit. Yeah. You can get the shutter speed incorrect. Ooh. And because it's on film, it's art. That's a bit cool.
No, lads. If you want the pictures of these, you just have to ask.
I've got 4 Monsieur to sign, if that's all right.
What are you taking pictures of, lads?
Who knows at the minute? Hopefully,
Day,
something that looks good.
That's what I'm saying. I'd love to back decent old camera boy and take pictures.
Take loads of shite ones, that's the problem. That's me after like believing it.
You've been up slamming shit. Here, good pictures up there.
Those two guys look quite funny.
You've been up at there slamming.
Check out the hole on this. As far as I'm aware, right? And I would suggest that you fact check this. Have you ever done the Gobbins? The Gobbins is a bit like this, but a bit more rugged. These paths were used for smuggling and transport, is that right? You potentially fact check that. But there were paths created here a long time ago. Yeah, this is like steel poles from 1800s, I think. Obviously they've just updated the galvanized nuts and things, but the pathway and the poles are new. But like these paths they follow, and then we fucking destroyed them by putting these horrible concrete things in. Go and stand there, look really nice though. I've only taken photos with the stills camera. So these don't work. For fact, I'll have to buy Dan's photos off him. So if you're watching this, I'm showing you these photos, and they exist. If you haven't seen any photographs in this video yet, it's because none of them worked.
Ash everywhere and concrete.
Class, isn't it? Oh, there's the lighthouse.
That would be a nice.
Watch for that. This is a bit cool. There you go. This. Like I'm being birthed again. City boys out on the coast.
City boys.
Look at that scenery.
How many photos can you do?
Go for it. How many can you do? Like this. Put our bags on. One. Man, it's not even a full pull-up. That bar's too big. I definitely hold a smaller bar than that normally. Not a shaft. 50% battery on the drone.
Even the Mini 3's different.
Battery low. Recharge properly. Nope, not going to be firing that though. Yeah, I'd like to buy this footage from you. Shoot some video when you're up there. Hey guys, just going to fly my drone up. To be fair, I just pulled my drone out of my bag. It's not a euphemism for anything. It's flat. My drone's flat. Also learned I have the Mini, Dan has the Mini 2. They have different batteries. So, cheers DJI. Can we just appreciate the public separation anxiety? Dan's flying his drone. There's no one about. I just wanted to climb down there onto that rock and see if I could see the lighthouse. And then this guy, this dude, he got involved. You can do it, mate. And I was like, oh, I really don't need that. I don't need cheerleaders. And there's a bit of a gap down there. And I was like, if I jump down, I'm going to just fall into the water. Came over to assess it, to tell me he thinks I can make the jump. And then his 2 friends were standing here. Everyone's standing here, all taking photos. You know? People. We can't be too far from... How do we get up to this lighthouse? There has to be a way. Gonna miss the boat. I like the idea of having a physical, tangible product to hold at the end. I've been printing a lot more of my own photos recently and I really quite enjoy that. I've just found digital stuff, while I love digital cameras, sometimes I just feel like you go through the motions and you don't really think about what you're doing because there's no, you can just delete them, so it doesn't really matter. So I find I just fire shots out without really considering. I want to be a bit more considerate with what I'm shooting. There's a lot of people taking really cool film photos, right? But you also see a lot of like people taking shit photos, just getting settings wrong, and it's like calling it art, you know? So it's either It's either a good photo or it's art, because you've got it completely wrong. What the fucking bird scared the shit bag out of me. Oh my gosh, I thought I was dead. I thought that was it, eaten by a dragon. It's a pigeon. Just a pigeon. Calm down, guys, just a pigeon. I feel really good that my drone's not working. To make matters worse, Dan's getting some really epic drone stuff. Not because he's good, he's got a good drone. It's freeing not being able to see them, but it's also nerve-wracking because I don't know if I'm getting it right or wrong. Dan's drone shots, as you've obviously seen already, look epic. Is that Scotland? Is that Scotland? Is one of those sentences I think I say to my wife every time I'm driving. I'm like, I think that's Scotland. Is that Scotland? That might be Scotland. And she's like, it doesn't matter. But I think it is actually Scotland. There. It is, isn't it? It is Scotland, isn't it? You can't even see it in this, so that's completely irrelevant. Scotland, city of Bangor. For those that have no idea what that's about, Dan and I live in a small town along the coast called Bangor. It's a holiday town. And now, well, it's actually been awarded city status, which is completely and utterly ridiculous, because it's definitely not a city. It's just about a town, to be honest. This is my best angle here. Dan says someone's at the top. I thought you could get to the top. Oh, no internet. Do you have the internet? Dan's drone's connected to 25 satellites, but we can't get sat-nav to work. GPS. Turns out we're right. Oh yeah, there you go. We're right there. I brought the A7 III with me in case I want to take some photographs later on. Basically, if something amazing happened, I needed a safety shot. Come along, Daniel. Hold on a second. Dan wants me to walk along. I don't know if I'm in. Well, if you could Photoshop out the railing, then just like. I don't think the first challenge was fair. All right, I wasn't ready for the first. We'll do it at the same time. I think we've got a wide on for this. Jump on it. You're gonna jump again.
I'm too small. Like,
Well, film speed 200, shutter 1/25th, and then I was in aperture of f8.
fucking perfect.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. I was alright. I thought I was a bit high. Do you want to try a photograph?
This amazing rock that I was talking about earlier.
Dan's going to shoot the amazing rock photo. So bear in mind, Dan's a very good photographer. He's never shot film. You have to put the strap on.
I always do. What did I do? Wind it?
Yeah, you gotta wind it. Almost impossible to focus because you don't know what. He's not happy with his composition now. Well, he's climbing up. Here he goes. That's it.
Snap.
Hey, you can't review it
No.
or anything.
Can't post it. But that felt surprisingly nice and mechanical. Like, it's just fucking, that's it, done.
We're now walking up wooden steps. Give me a cheek now. What happened there? Oh, that's all the shots. Okay, now there you go. Let's get to this lighthouse. We'll deal with the shoelace and then we'll deal with this film. If you do come this way, just do the full loop. There's clearly a way up.
I think you can. This is like an Airbnb thing.
Look, everything in this video needs fact checked, folks. Seems like a good.
Where? Spooled up.
How cool is that? My dad, years ago, he'd probably blame me, but he absolutely broke the handle of this. Normally it like folds out, you just wind it back with ease, but it doesn't work. You have to hold that a little bit, because if you let go, it unravels. And then all the film goes right back in. Pop this now. Open this. And it's back in its cartridge. I wound it back without busting. 24 photos. I remember going and shooting all these photographs as we were riding, and you would just roll the film in, pop it out, stick it in the box, and then just load a new film and crack on and go for the next batch. I actually shot a wedding once, all in black and white film, years ago for a friend, and developed all the film and developed all the photos. That was petrifying. That was absolutely petrifying. Right, back home. That was good fun. I really enjoyed that. That's the A-100. Like I said, that was my dad's camera. I went around to his house and I was like, have you got that old film camera that you used to shoot on when we were kids? Because it was the first camera that I had really used. No, he would have set it up and given it to me and I'd have wound it on and just pointed it and taken a photo. So family snaps and stuff, and he used to shoot things with it. I always quite liked the mechanical side of that, and I wanted to shoot this video for two reasons. One being to see if I remember how to set up and expose a photograph like without the use of things like an electronic viewfinder or focus peaking. Just also to get back to the more organic side of taking photos, a bit that I like, which is physically holding a photograph. Let's send this off, we'll fade out, we'll fade back in, and we'll have the photos. Right, prints are in. You go in, hand over the film, the guy's like, what size do you want? And I went for 7x5, and then I'm like, can I get the negs back? Can I get digital scans of that? And then as you can see there, I asked him to print everything. Regardless how shit they were. Those are my exact words to him. Just print them all, doesn't matter if they're shit. Let's take a look. That's what we've got. Packet of photos, contact sheet at the front. Negatives. And there's a few I fucked, you can see the ones. Some accidental trigger presses and stuff. First one. That was just me loading the film in, to be fair. I wasn't sure if it was in yet. So. Second one, 100% out of focus, which is class. Great. Call that, put that in the art pile. Also out of focus. Why is my focus so bad? Am I blind? They are all out of focus, which is interesting. Like I don't have eyes. Like what the fuck was I looking at? They looked in focus in the camera. What the fuck was I focusing on? Now obviously these are digital prints. They're not printing these from an enlarger. They do get remotely better as it goes on. What is quite interesting is flicking through them and looking at them as we'll call finished products because they're prints. And the reason I wanted to get the prints was to see how shit they were gonna be in real life. What was that shot there? Was that just an accidental trigger? That one I expected to be shit, to be fair. And then the finale, which, you know, absolutely worth the trip. Do you know how much it cost for me to have some photographs that I can throw in the bin? £22. £22. But yeah, I'm quite surprised at how bad they actually are. But then also mildly happy with the fact that they turned out as photos, because to be honest, I thought I hadn't even reeled the film in correctly. You know, in my defense, I may have got something fundamentally wrong on that camera. I know this is the first attempt in a very long time to do it, and I'll definitely try a few more and see what happens, see if I can improve, and maybe do one where I compare a digital photo to an analog and how I shoot them, because I think there's a lot in the mindset in how you shoot on film to digital. So I guess a little bit more practice with a film camera is definitely on the cards. Or just give up right now. We'll see what happens with that. But that was a fun experiment. You know, maybe you were thinking about getting a film camera, going, that could be fun. It's going to be expensive and it's going to be a very steep learning curve. So consider that if you want to get into film. And if you do, a lot of people shoot point and shoot. Maybe there's a reason why everyone's shooting point and shoot. Maybe a point and shoot camera does a bit more of the work for you, so you get to enjoy the snapshot side of things without having to worry too much about the art side of it. So there you go, that's those done. I'll probably just pop those in the trash. What are we gonna do with them? Sell them on Etsy? Not gonna happen. What is this? They look quite sharp in the negs. There you go, you know? Class. What a great use of time. Fuck's sake. Thanks very much for watching. If you've any questions or comments, or you know what the fuck I did wrong, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.